morning. I'm getting out of here. But go ahead, who needs you? And take his old piece of junk. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna pause that. Anyway, hey, listen. I said it before. It's like, Willie Monroe is like one of them type of fighters that it's like everybody fuck with. It's like, how can you not like Willie Monroe? He's 21-2 with 6 KOs, but the problem is, people saying he's not going to get a decision over there, man, in the UK. Now, let me tell you what I've heard and what I've learned over the years. Even though, he's like number 2 behind Eddie Hearn over there, Frank Warren is a very powerful man. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying he gets shit done. I'm a huge Billy Joe Saunders supporter. I've been talking shit about Billy Joe Saunders, like, yo, man, he beat such and everything for years now. I've seen every single one of his fights. Every single one. Except probably like 2 I didn't see. But looking at his last 2 years, now remember, he won that WBO title against Andy Lee. He had a nice run in that year where he beat Chris Eubank Jr. in a fight that was a 50-50-ish fight, but a lot of people were going with Chris Eubank Jr. He clearly won the fight, even though Chris Eubank Jr. started coming on late. The rematch was supposed to happen, but then Chris Eubank Jr., with all that shit going on in his career, now he's in that $25 million World Boxing Super Series tournament, 168 pounds. You have him defeating Andy Lee in a very close fight, even dropping Andy Lee in one of Billy Joe Saunders' best overall performances. But that was in the end of 2015. He fought Wolverine, Logan, yes, literally some cosplay Logan fighter, Artur Akavov. He didn't look good. And on my first viewing on that fight, I said, yo, Akavov outworked him, Akavov beat him. And Billy Joe Saunders even said himself that he looked like shit. I interviewed Oscar De La Hoya like 2 weeks after, not even 2 weeks, I think it was that next week after that fight. Turns out Billy Joe Saunders was in talks to fight Canelo. And then Oscar De La Hoya did an interview. The interview's right here on the channel where he said that, after watching that Akavov fight, that they were going to cut the deal that they offered him in half. I wonder what that deal was. Golovkin went on to beat Danny Jacobs in a very close fight in March of this year. Was heavily rumored, and even Billy Joe Saunders confirmed that they were supposed to fight in June for that WBO title, to be undisputed, right? Golovkin went on to fight Canelo. Can you blame him? So now you have Billy Joe Saunders, who's in a tough situation, because if you look at the 160-pound division, he can't fight Golovkin. Golovkin has 3 other belts. So I want to know what happened with Danny Jacobs, because a couple of weeks ago, Danny Jacobs at the Broner versus Garcia fight said that Billy Joe Saunders showed no interest. What does that mean? By the way, Danny Jacobs is supposed to return in October the 14th in the Barclays Center. Looking at the rankings of the WBO, you got David Lemieux there. The David Lemieux fight was in works. That's confirmed. Somebody who was at the Golovkin Canelo press conference, Billy Joe Saunders was there in London. Talked to Billy Joe Saunders, and basically I can say it now, I couldn't say it then, but David Lemieux, he said David Lemieux fight couldn't happen because David Lemieux had a small shoulder injury, which is true. So he couldn't fight David Lemieux. Looking at the other guys in the 160-pound division, in the top 15 of the WBO guys that he could fight, Willie Monroe is ranked number 5. Danny Jacobs is ranked number 6. Then you have Jamal Charlo, but Jamal Charlo had a fight, against Horace Passion Highland, and he's going to WBC route. So if you really look at Billy Joe Saunders' situation, understanding like what I know about the landscape of boxing politics and, the available fighters and their schedules, Willie Monroe was the only real option that he can fight, unless he fought some other name that you didn't know of, like a Conrad Cummings, Emmanuel Aline, Rob Brandt, they got him, but he's in the 168-pound tournament. So Willie Monroe does have good boxing skill, but the problem is he doesn't have the power to keep fighters off of him. That's why this fight between him and Billy Joe Saunders is going to be good, because Billy Joe is 24-0 with 12 KOs, but is not known to be like a powerful puncher. Even though if he catch you clean, you're going to probably go down. You see what I'm saying? So he's not known to be like a powerful puncher. Also, he has to be in the best shape of his career because he has to put on a performance in this fight where people are like, okay, yeah, we can really take Billy Joe Saunders seriously, because looking at all the fights he was supposed to be involved in, and the cancellations, wait, was there what the Billy Joe Saunders the Eubank Jr. too? Looking at the big fights he's could have been in, his career has pretty much not been doing nothing for almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years. He's going to have 2 fights unless he fights in December. He's going to have 2 fights in 2 years. It's crazy. So the options are for Billy Joe, like if he wins, if Canelo wins, right, against Golovkin, would Canelo want to go after Billy Joe Saunders? I talked to Abel Sanchez a couple of months ago, around the time where Canelo versus Golovkin was announced, and I asked, well, if Golovkin wins, is he going to go after Billy Joe Saunders? Since he was going to fight him in June, if he wins, will he go after Billy Joe Saunders for all the belts? The way Abel Sanchez was acting was like as if, like, well, nah, he's going to move to 168. So I'm wondering, like, well, why not just, go get that other belt if you can? I understand we're in a situation now where, Terrence Crawford and Julius Ndonga was fighting to be undisputed, and it's still history in being an undisputed champion. But to have potentially, if Golovkin wins and he decides to fight in December, if him and Billy Joe Saunders were to happen in December, we can have 2 different undisputed champions in 2 different divisions in this era. When has that ever happened? So there's some history there. And I say, like, well, if you're going to stay, if you beat Canelo, stay 1 more fight. But if he beats Canelo, there is a rematch clause. So how does that play in? There's a rematch clause. But if Canelo beats Golovkin, there is no rematch clause. So I don't know. It's complex, but this fight is happening on I'm hoping that an American network picks this up. I doubt it'll be HBO. I'm hoping that an American network picks this up. It's going to be on BT Sport for sure. I do know that. It has Anthony Yard on the calls. Obviously, Dubois is probably going to be in the card as well. It's September the 16th, 2017. That's a big day of boxing. I forgot what other fights are on that day too. Oh, Canelo versus fucking Golovkin is on the same day. Duh. I'm going. Anyway. That's all I have to say. Teach your controversy. It's a Teach Your Controversy live. Oh, we didn't talk about the drug testing situation. So, okay, what I've learned is Willie Monroe released a statement. Let me pull it up. Willie Monroe released a statement on social media, on Twitter, talking about how he hasn't been tested by Vada or anybody, and that Frank Warren, the promoter of Billy Joe Saunders, was supposed to pay for the testing. So, turns out that there is testing, but it's the UK testing, and basically what I'm hearing or what I'm learning is that, like, fighters in the UK don't want to take Vada and the UK drug testing at the same time because it's being too much blood being taken or some old shit like that. But still, it still makes you wonder, well, hey, wait a minute. Willie, no matter how you slice it, Willie Monroe is saying he still hasn't been tested. So let me go see. He released a statement. Let me see if he took it down. I believe he took it down. But why would he take it down? Oh, no, there it is. I found it. Let me read it to you real quick. So it's 5 weeks until the fight, and Vada hasn't knocked at my door yet, and I've been waiting. What's funny is Frank Warren and Billy Joe Saunders, being the A side, proposed we do Olympic-style drug testing for the fight. They even revamped the contract and added Vada testing to our bout agreement. Now Frank Warren is responsible for paying the $9,000 or $10,000 to enroll myself and Saunders in Nevada for testing, and we should receive an email stating that we are enrolled and the test will begin. What's funny is big run-on sentence, but I understand. What's funny is we're supposed to start testing 8 weeks before the fight. He's saying it's 5 weeks before the fight. Here we are 5 weeks before the fight, and I haven't gotten so much as an email from Vada, so I'm thinking they're scared and added to the contract the scare tactic, and maybe Billy Joe Saunders is on some PED and wanted to save face by putting Vada in the contract, but not actually following through with the procedure. Or maybe they're about to get their asses for testing. Wait a minute. Oh, he cropped it. Damn it. Hold on. they're about to get their asses kicked, so they need a reason to say I didn't win fair, which is whichever way it goes, we need Vada to get this. We need Vada to get this testing done for the sake of boxing. I wouldn't trust Frank Warren nor Billy Joe Saunders no further than I can throw them. This shit smells funny, and the people need to know the truth. Wait a minute. The people need to know. Due to the terms, I have agreed to the contract for this fight. I can't afford to bring my whole team to the fight. The companies. Oh, that's another one. All right. So, yeah, some crazy shit, right? So basically, he's accusing him, Billy Joe Saunders, of being on. Oh, y'all need to go to his Twitter. I'm not gonna read all this shit. Y'all need to go to his Twitter. There's some shit going on. The Engel Gym, we insist on Vada testing to protect British fighters. Willie Monroe will have had 0 testing thus far. Yeah, I need to go to his Twitter, check this shit out. I'm not going to sit here and read this, but now I'm trying to see. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. You shouldn't play around with this drug testing shit, man. You know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I want to see the fight. I hope no crazy shit don't happen. Do I believe that anybody's on anything? Nah. Especially, I mean, I'm learning a lot about that gypsy culture over there, the traveler community. They just don't seem like, you know. But then again, fuck that. Stop fucking around with the drug test. Somebody get some drug, somebody get the needles out. All right. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.